Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to do a few part, maybe several part series. I'm going to use this book as a basis. I wrote this sometime back, and it's Unconditional Eternal Security. Is it scriptural? And I grew up Southern Baptist. Obviously, one of our tenets was unconditional eternal security is scriptural. You can't lose your salvation. I kind of always intrinsically knew that wasn't right. You know, I'd said the sinner's prayer like bunches and prayed prayers, read chick tracts, this is your life, and, you know, God saved me and all this. And, you know, now I know that that's not even what the born again experience is. That's not what the plan of salvation was, but I was very sincere. I think God saw the sincerity of my heart and led me to where I needed to go on that. And so, you know, then you begin to study his unconditional eternal security scriptural, and I think it's taken as a fait accompli that it is, and it's used a lot by analogy and a few scriptures. But if you take the totality of scripture, I don't see any way you can say that it is. Now, I love people that believe that. I'm not saying I don't love you and all of this. We can agree to disagree. We can get along. But I did want us just to consider a few scriptures here. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to read a little bit and then just make some comments. And again, this is probably part one of several. So what's the Bible say about once saved, always saved, also known as unconditional eternal security? The largest non-Catholic Christian body in the United States, Southern Baptist Convention, also known as the Great Commission Baptist. They're trying to change their name. They are also numerous other Baptist associations and conventions. One core tenet that unites almost every Baptist, the doctrine of once saved, always saved, also known as unconditional eternal security. Now, also, it's odd that in the United States, so many Southern Baptists would cast off the first four tenets of Calvinism, of the tulip, but keep the perseverance of the saints. And many Baptists around the world are Calvinists. They are Reformed. They are not. So anyhow, but it doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is, what does the Bible say? So is it a Bible doctrine? Does it promote godly Christian living? So now, I know that's an argument from, what would you say? The argument from fruits, but so not necessarily scripture. So, but it is a good question to ask. Let me begin with assuring the reader this is definitely not a missive attacking Baptists. It's not I love Baptists, many extraordinary, sincere people and scrupulous in following Holy Writ. Matter of fact, most of my family is Baptist. It might extend to hundreds. However, it's possibly sincerely wrong, and in love we will examine this doctrine for these precious people, attempt to answer the question of the biblicalness of unconditional eternal security in this brief treatise. And so I come from a long line of Baptists, mentioned that I have many in my extended family. So it's based on love and the truth of Scripture. I've got to love God, love people, but love God most of all. We all should do that. While I would have personal doctrinal disagreements with many other parts of Baptist doctrine as well, I felt strongly to teach on this particular question. Some Baptists define as a cult someone who does not believe in unconditional eternal security. Now, I get this from when I worked in Christian bookselling for years. We actually got in some Sunday school literature from a Baptist group, a very large Baptist group, and it said ways you can define a cult and identify a cult, and one is they don't believe in unconditional eternal security. So obviously, to many in Baptist, and you over the years commenting, it's not some minor doctrine, but it's a core tenet of faith. So let's go ahead and begin our examination. So most feel that the unconditional eternal security has, or UES, we'll say for short, has its beginning as the fifth of Calvin's 5 points of Calvinism, the perseverance of the saints. While many Baptists in the USA are not 5-point Calvinists, I've already mentioned that, most have almost in unison retained this fifth point. But is it scriptural? Now, there's some Baptists that don't believe in unconditional eternal security. What makes somebody Baptist is adult believers' baptism. And so this isn't essential, but it is to many. Most non-liturgical people professing Christianity would classify as Bible believers adherents to sola scriptura. Liturgical Christians in many instances would give great credence to traditions of various sorts, so we're interested in the biblical veracity of UES, not tradition. And so we're just going to take that as the basis, and I hope you'll join me for my next one. We'll try to put these up on a fairly regular basis, certainly once a month, hopefully even more than that. And God bless. Hey, invite others to be with us. Hit the bell notification when you subscribe. Put it on social media. Leave a comment, 2 sentences or less. We got way too many people abusing the comment section. And we'll talk with you later. God bless. Bye-bye.